What is up, guys? So for this video I'm going to be breaking down two different synopses, one for Arrow Season 6 Episode 17 titled Brother in Arms, and Arrow Season 6 Episode 18 titled Fundamentals. The reason I'm breaking down two different synopses in this video is because the synopsis for Episode 17 is literally nothing. There's really nothing to talk about. It's really short, and I didn't want to just skip over it, so I'm including it in this video. I probably won't talk about it that much, probably a lot less than Episode 18, but I will talk about it a little bit, so I didn't want to skip over it, so I just thought I'm just going to include it in this video along with Episode 18. I don't know why they've released a synopsis for Episode 16, 17, and 18, while The Flash has only released a synopsis for Episode 16 up to this point. I honestly have no idea, but that doesn't really matter. So for this video, I'm going to be breaking down the synopsis for Episode 17 and 18, starting with Episode 17. So, the synopsis for Arrow Season 6, Episode 17, titled Brothers in Arms, reads, Oliver and Diggle face their biggest challenge yet. Curtis is disappointed to find out his new boyfriend has a firm anti-vigilante stance. Like I said, this is an extremely vague and short and really underwhelming synopsis. I mean, all it talks about is Oliver and Diggle facing their biggest challenge yet, which I doubt is the truth. Maybe it's just them fighting Ricardo Diaz for the first time together. I don't really know, because they've faced some really big challenges in the past, like Deathstroke and nuclear Armageddon and alien invasion and a Nazi invasion. So I highly doubt this is their biggest challenge yet. I think this is just a huge hyperbole that they're using here. I doubt it's their biggest challenge yet. Maybe it's just like a strain on their relationship, because why else would Oliver and Diggle both be included on it? But that's something they've done, I think, twice in the past. It will be another case of them reusing storylines, but I don't know, it might not be that. It might be something to do with the previous episode, with somebody's death or something, Oliver and Diggle getting over somebody's death that the other characters wouldn't, which I can't really think of anybody that would work for. So I highly doubt this is going to be their biggest challenge yet. In fact, I'm predicting it's going to be nowhere near the biggest challenge yet. Like I said, they faced Deathstroke and people with magic, and that same people with magic we're going to blow up the Earth, and an alien invasion, a Nazi invasion. They've faced some pretty crazy stuff. So as I call this Oliver and Diggle's biggest challenge yet is a little insane. But who knows, maybe it will be something at least a little bit challenging. But anyway, Curtis is disappointed to find out his new boyfriend has a firm anti-vigilante stance. I guess he goes out with his new boyfriend on Episode 16. This is something that I really do not give two craps about. I honestly do not care about this side plot that they're doing. If they just took it out of the episode, it probably wouldn't be any different. This anti-vigilante person is probably not a character we've seen before. If it is, then it's probably that guy who's working for Ricardo Diaz, that guy who is also working for the mayor's office, and also, I think, the lawyer. I don't know, but this guy right here, he is working for Ricardo Diaz, so maybe that guy, maybe he's gay, I don't really know. But again, I honestly could not care less about this side plot. This is why this synopsis is so nothing. It was underwhelming, and it's short, like I said, and there's nothing to it. It's just this stupid side plot that does not need to exist, and then Oliver and Diggle, and then a huge hyperbole, which is saying that Oliver and Diggle are facing their biggest challenge yet. Who knows, maybe this will be the best episode ever. I mean, Episode 17 has been good in the past. Like last year, I think Episode 17 was Capuchon, which was one of the best episodes of the season. Or maybe that was maybe that was Episode 18. I'm not really sure. But who knows, maybe despite this pretty underwhelming synopsis, it'll be a pretty great episode. Anything is possible. But anyway, moving on to Episode 18, which is titled Fundamentals. So, Episode 18 actually used to be titled Back to Basics, and I made a video about this episode a while back because a lot of pictures were released for the episode. Like, Stephen Amell released a bunch of pictures online. He talked about the episode for a little bit. What he said is that a character from the past seasons will be returning for a little while, whether it be in a flashback or something else, I don't really know. And the other thing is, the reason I say flashback is because we're clearly getting flashbacks to prior seasons. We see a picture here of the boat in the Queen Mansion, and we see here him in his Season 4 suit, and then here in his Season 1, 2, and 3 suit. So we are clearly getting flashbacks in this episode, and apparently Oliver is in like almost every scene in this episode. This will be a very Oliver heavy episode, which is a good thing. He is the main character of the show, and with it being called Back to Basics, but then changing to Fundamentals, that is another clue to what happens. But let's read the synopsis to find out what else happens in the episode. So the synopsis reads, in his darkest place yet, Oliver wonders if he has failed at everything, being a father, a mayor, and a hero. His frustration rising, Oliver lashes out at Felicity and William. A surprising visit from an old friend has Oliver questioning his next move. So it says he's in his darkest place yet. I think that means that something epic will happen, like something crazy and epic will happen to Oliver in episode 17. Like last year, something pretty crazy happened when he was tortured by Adrian Chase and he revealed to himself that he killed because he liked it back in season 1. That was pretty crazy. Maybe something similar will happen here, but again, the synopsis is using pretty crazy hyperbole, saying he's in his darkest place yet, when that thing I just mentioned happened last season, which was probably his darkest place yet, and maybe something pretty dark will happen, but it seems like nobody died in the previous episode. We know Felicity's not dead, and I know Diggle's not dead because Stephen Amell said that he was filming episode, I think, 22, and he was in it. John Diggle was in that episode, so he's not dead either. So really, I can't think of any reason he'd be in his darkest place yet. Like a dark place, maybe something happened to him. Maybe he was impeached, maybe he was outed as the Green Arrow, or maybe he led the city into bankruptcy or to chaos, because that would all be connected to the theme of the show, which is Oliver saving the city, but also the theme of the synopsis, which is he failed at being a father, mayor, and a hero. In order to be all those three things, he needs the city. He needs to have the city in good health and save the city. To be a father, to keep William safe, to be a mayor, because he's the mayor, he has to have the city in good health, and then a hero, because that's his whole thing, saving the city. So maybe that is why he's in his darkest place yet. Does something bad happen to the city, like it was led into chaos or it went bankrupt? Because we already see it going bankrupt earlier this season, so maybe he was not able to save. I don't remember if he actually got that money back from Laurel. I don't think he did. Maybe, I don't really know, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he failed at that. Maybe the city is actually bankrupt right now, putting him in his darkest place yet. The synopsis continues, saying his frustration rising, Oliver lashes out at Felicity and William. That sounds really intense. That sounds like it's going to be an intense moment from Stephen Amell. Hopefully, Emily Bett Rickards doesn't ruin it like she does a lot, ruining pretty crazy intense moments by just her terrible acting in those moments. But I'm hopeful that she won't do that, and Oliver and Stephen Amell will be able to make this moment a pretty good moment. And I think this will obviously affect the rest of the episode, making him questioning his next move. But the main thing questioning his next move is a surprise visit from an old friend. I speculated in my breakdown, not my breakdown, but my speculation video for this episode, where I talked about all the things that we know about the episode, all the things that Stephen Amell has said, and he said that a person from the past seasons will be returning. And in my speculation video for this episode, I said that it's probably going to be Prometheus, but it seems like I was wrong because it says an old friend, and Prometheus was not his friend. The reason I said it's Prometheus because it could have been anybody, and I was looking at main villains for some reason. I don't really remember why, but the only villain that it was possible for it to come back was Adrian Chase. But it seems like it's an old villain, and I also speculated that it might be Tommy, it might be Sarah, it might be Moira. But an old friend seems like it's probably gonna be Tommy. I don't know how. Usually the actor doesn't really have time to shoot anything on Arrow. He did that one scene on Arrow in the crossover, but he only did that because he was able to find time. So I doubt he's able to find time for this episode. But that is really the only old friend from the past seasons that I could think of. Maybe it's Sarah, but I highly doubt it because like she talks with Oliver sometimes. I don't know. The only character that I could think of for this big character return to make Oliver question his next move would be Tommy. I definitely think that he's not going to be a real person. I think maybe Oliver's going to hallucinate or something like that, because you see him in this picture from the episode on the floor of the bunker. So I think that he was drugged or something like that, and he's hallucinating. And just like in season 2, when he hallucinated those 3 ghosts, because of some reason he hallucinated Tommy, and maybe he's going to do that again, and that would make him question his next move, which will probably mean his next move against the Dragon or Ricardo Diaz, which is incidentally the next episode's title, which is The Dragon, which by the way used to be called Enter the Dragon. But anyway, that's it for the breakdown of these synopses. Let me know which episode you're most excited for. For me personally, I'm definitely most excited for episode 18 rather than 17. just because 17, there's not really much happening, unless if something happens that affects episode 18, putting Oliver in its darkest place yet. But episode 18 seems to be a lot better, just because of what's happening, who's coming back, and the premise of the episode. But let me know which one you're most excited for in the comments down below. If you want, follow me on Twitter or click the notification icon right next to the subscribe button just to get better notifications or updates for my videos. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.